Well, hopefully another happy Monday, or at least a Monday, if nothing else. And I know that as we head into our weeks during these times, they continue to be challenging. And so as I offer this reflection today, I'd like to maybe just offer some food for thought based on some readings from last week, because I think I can speak for Father Dady on this as well, that sometimes his preachers and his priests and his people who read the Gospels and readings in preparation for sermons, we very commonly tend to look for common themes or common threads, and hopefully they inform our spiritual lives, and then hopefully through these reflections they help you as well. And as I was preparing for my homily this weekend, I also came across Thursday's reading, and as you know, we preach every day of the week. And Thursday's reading took place for me at St. Joseph's, where I celebrate Mass every week. And I think that there is a common theme, spiritually speaking, between what we heard Thursday and what we just heard on Sunday. In Thursday's reading, it was Luke 7:36 through 50, and this is that challenging passage about love your enemies. The passage goes on to say, turn the other cheek, to one who asks for your cloak, give your other one, and so forth. It's this radical essence of enemy love. But Jesus begins the passage by saying, to those who hear I say, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who mistreat you, and pray for those who persecute you. And what a challenging task that is. I mean, he's really asking for a lot. Fast forward to Sunday's reading, and when Peter says, how often should I forgive? 7 times? And depending on the translation, Jesus says, no, 70 times, or according to other translations, 70 times 7, which means apparently 490 times, although I don't think he was thinking in the context of arithmetic, but to forgive abundantly, to make forgiveness part of your life. And between love of enemy and this idea of boundless sort of forgiveness, we all, myself included, and I'm sure there's nobody out there that does not find these things difficult. And one of the reasons, and there's many, I think one of the reasons that we find them difficult is we're trying to force these things. If we listen to these Gospels at all, and we really do want to put them in act, and I think most of us do, we do really want to put them in action, I should say. We really want to try. I want to love my enemy. And I'm not talking about enemies across the world. That's a different context. I'm talking about your enemies right here locally, those who you have risks with locally, family, friends. Let's stay a little bit local before we cure the world. How do I do that, and what does that look like? I find it so challenging. Well, you heard me talk a little bit about this Sunday, and if you were tuning in to St. Joe's at all, and on our feed, you heard it there as well. And the general theme is I can't love my enemy. And I can't pray for those who persecute me, or do good to those who mistreat me, or all these things. I can't forgive 7 times 70 if I don't begin to address my inner conflicts, my internal conflicts, the demons, so to speak, that lie within. I think this is at the source of all of it. That, well, it says to love your enemy. Well, what if the enemy, in one way or the other, lies within? What if the enemy is a conflict that I have internally? It could be that I'm at a stage in my life that I'm not real happy right now. It could be wounds from the past. It could be shame from experience years ago. It could be a feeling of unworthiness, a feeling of unbelonging, a feeling of not even feeling like I belong in the Christian community and in the presence of God. We have to begin to address those wounds. Maybe for some of us, I don't even like the person sometimes that I see in the mirror every morning. There's things about myself that I would change, and all these things harbor a resentment towards myself. Well, how can I pay forward mercy? How can I love the other? How can I love the enemy when I'm experiencing internal conflict? And this is so crucial to the spiritual life. Until I address the conflict within, until I address some of my own, dare I say, self-hate, self-loathing, until I address the enemy within, bring that forth and present it before God, it's going to be very difficult for me to pay any love forward. I can only pay love forward that I've received first. I can only pay forward the mercy that I've received from God. And so the challenge for this week is simply this. Find something, well, I wouldn't say go looking for, but allow something in your life that you're not happy about to be exposed. Something internally, something maybe that you wouldn't share with anybody else, and offer that before God and allow that to begin to be healed. And know that Jesus Christ accepts you, not in spite of that, but just even because of what you deem a failure. That when I offer my weaknesses to God, they become my strength. When I offer those things that I'm shameful about and all that, God has the power through the cross to turn them into those things that I offer in love and mercy to the world. I can't be merciful, I can't love enemy, and I can't forgive abundantly until I've begun to forgive myself, to address my own internal self-loathing, self-concerns, and even shame, which so many of us carry around. Look at those internal conflicts first. Become a wholer person in Jesus Christ, and then see how he begins to love through you, your enemy, your neighbor, and all those that you encounter. May God's love be with you always. I hope everybody's staying healthy during this pandemic, where our prayers continue to be with you. And I hope to see you all sometime very soon. God bless.